Hello, I'm Sarah Wing of Sarah Wing Intuitive Arts, and welcome to Oracle Storytelling. Fall edition, October edition. We're officially in fall, in October. For I know people I know who love fall. They're so excited to break out their layers, their first turtleneck of the season. There was an actual text I got from someone because they love this season so much. So I hope fall people are really excited, breaking out all of your orange accessories. If you love the outdoors, you get that nice little crunch right now with all the leaves. And just taking in the visuals as seasons turn. In nature, I want to give a big thank you. Thank you so much, Lisa, for helping me tell today's Oracle story. I've asked for 4 numbers, 1 through 100, which will correlate to 4 page numbers in 4 books that I have chosen, and 4 numbers, 1 through 10, which will be the number of the paragraph as I count down that page. I also have 2 extra sets of numbers, so I've done something extra special for Lisa because she is a fantastic human being. It's just a fact. So let us see. Oh, and also, happy holidays to everyone who is celebrating either religious holidays or even Halloween or All Hallows Eve. To my Michigan folks, may Devil's Night not be a Devil's Night. It's very Michigan specific. If you're not from Michigan, you might not get that, but may there be no Devil's Night. So, let's see where this tale takes us as we head into the end of the year, into 2020, as my lovely friend has called it, the year of clear vision. The golden question. On an emotional level, a shift from ego to soul is transforming the aggression of overactivity into the diplomacy of conscious response. This occurs through the 5 stages of surrender that we will soon discuss in this book. Easy! 5 steps, you guys. Not a big deal. Easy. Easy. Exploitation can take many forms, but always involves the using of others without regard for their feelings or interests. Often the other is in a subservient position where resistance would be difficult or even impossible. Sometimes the subservience is not so much real as assumed. The offense can be as mild as a one-sided friendship in which one gives and the other takes, as commonplace as a selfish lover or a demanding boss, or as horrendous as sexual predation and harassment on the job. It may or may not involve deceit, but quite often includes distortions of reality. Okay, we're really getting into it before the end of the year. It's a good thing. Let's do this. All right, where is this taking us? Let's see. I began studying meditation extensively when I was 16. We can all relate to this. And most of the techniques I encountered suggested I focus on the base of the spine. Okay. Moving upward until ultimately directing loving energy up to the universe. But as you might imagine, as we all might imagine, the universe is overflowing with loving energy. Yes, absolutely, constant flow. This is flow. That's what flow is. Now you know. We, the people down here on this planet, Mm-mm. We are the ones that are love anemic, desperately in need of an infusion of loving energy. Therefore, we start above the head and move downward. I hope you guys are taking notes. All right. In conclusion, this raises an interesting point. I was just about to say that, right? You know. With regard to children dreaming of their parents' deaths. My experience is that, more often than not, the primary reason for such dreams is once again deeply connected to the metaphor of death as the necessary prerequisite for growth and rebirth. Love some rebirth. When a child grows, that growth must also be paralleled by the growth of the parents, at least to the extent that they grow to love the more mature child as much or as more as the less mature child. Most often, growth is pictured in the child's dream as death. And although the first thought may be that the dreams represent some deep repressed resentment of the child against the parent, a wishing they were dead, my experience is that far more often the primary significance of the dream is that the parents are growing too. Okay, what did we learn from this? Okay, so we started out really, looking at the ego, and we're like, okay, we're gonna surrender our ego. Well, how do we do that? It's like, I'll tell you. And then we looked at an example of exploitation, which exploitation is something you do when you are in a state of ego, when you are acting in aggression towards someone else. How do we not do that, right? Well, here we go. Meditation, there we go. We're looking inward. We're taking inward. We're not reflecting outward and pushing our aggression or attitudes on not taking out our selfish or aggression or harmful personal tendencies out on others. We're the love anemic, right? So we're not going out, we're going in with meditation, and then however you choose to meditate, many different ways. And then we're self-nourishing, we're going inward, and we're feeding whatever we're feeding. We're not feeding this, we're not pushing it out, pushing it away. We're looking in, and we're feeding our love anemia. We're feeding on that love from the universe, that connection, that self-love. And then the last piece that we learned was what happens, right? What happens when we do that? Well, we grow, as from child to, as children, we physically grow, right? Physically mature, but also mentally mature. Those are some confirming honks if you heard them. There's a lot of people celebrating what I just said outside. We mentally mature, we emotionally mature, and we spiritually mature. And I know when I connect and do that with myself, when I grow, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, I'm that much more able, like in this last example that we heard about with the parent-child relationship. Not only can a parent see the child maturing and grow in love equal to or more so than the less mature child, but I also personally, I know when I grow in those ways, I've been able to see my parents mature and grow that much easier because I'm able to recognize that or experience it as you first start these things within myself, and it's easier to see it in others. So it's both ways, and it's a very beautiful thing. And it really is the growing in love. That love that, if we feel love anemic, if we feel like we're not loved, and we're throwing all this, I forgot what this was, a flow or something. I don't know what I said. Anyway, if we're doing this instead of doing this, I guess, inward, yeah, we're fighting instead of feeding ourselves. So, on that note, I'm going to bring up the 2 extra bonus things that Lisa got. I decided that I was going to use a couple tarot decks. I used Animal Tarot from Radley Valentine because Lisa, this authentic, beautiful, awesome, remarkable woman, runs an animal shelter and is just a fantastic person. So the first card that you got, Lisa, was the Magician, number 1, which is the unicorn in the deck. No surprise, because you love all animals, Lisa, but horses. I know you're a big horse person too. So, for the Magician, the paragraph you chose was, unicorns are one of the most magical of all creatures. Whether you consider them to be real or mythical, their energy has been present with and held sacred by people since ancient times. They're pure of heart and able to manifest opportunity, enlightenment, and prosperity because of their childlike faith. As you take on the perspective of a unicorn, Lisa, please take on the perspective of a unicorn, or, for Halloween, put one of the cats at the shelter in a unicorn outfit and just take a picture. For everyone. But for everyone. As you take on the perspective of a unicorn, allow the horn to represent your single-minded focus. You can also think of it as your magic wand. Let out your inner unicorn by trusting your ability to summon infinite resources as needed to accomplish your goals. And this smart, successful businesswoman that Lisa is, I know you've done this over and over. You're a beautiful person, and keep manifesting everything that you need for the animals, but also for yourself, of course. Always for yourself. Always self-nourish. And then your second card, because I thought, well, I'm going to stay with unicorns. My most nourishing deck, like the inner child warm hug deck, is called the Magical Unicorn Oracle cards. So I was like, I'm going to stay with that. And you got the Believe in Yourself, which pairs really well with this card. And then also I kind of think it's like, this is a parent and this is a kid, which is kind of like the last message we were reading about. And here's the parent recognizing this growing, maturing child, and that makes me think of just the last reading. And the message that you chose from there is, belief means making a decision such as, yes, I can do this. When you clearly decide to do it instead of just trying, you approach the situation with confidence. It doesn't matter if you're doing something new. What matters is that you believe you can do it. Each time you do something new, you learn and grow. And you'll thank yourself for learning that you can do anything you truly believe in. And you can do anything you truly believe in. The books that I read from today were, in reverse order, Dreamwork by Jeremy Taylor, Your Life in Color by Dougal Fraser. Why Is It Always About You by Sandy Hotchkins. And last but not least, Everything is Here to Help You. Yes, you. Yes, you, right? Yes, you. Everything. Yes, everything. Yep, every single thing. Yep, that too. By Matt Kahn. That's the extended title. So thank you again, Lisa, and I hope that These messages help get you thinking or resonate with you as you're moving towards, as we're all moving towards 2020. Oh, also I wanted to note that for two of the pages we had chapter 6s, so 6s were coming up a lot, and also the number 16 appeared on pages as well. So 6 and 16, if those are numbers you're working with currently, just giving you confirmation with anything you're working with those. So I just wanted to mention that for significance. Oh, and also, of course, one card that came out when I was in the unicorn deck was pets, which is incredibly apt for Lisa. You love and understand animals. Of course you do. But also with those numbers, maybe 6 and 16 could be significant for a pet in your life, or animal companion, as I like to call them. But so happy October, and I hope that all resonated and sat well with everyone. And we'll see you next time.